Hey, yo, my people, I've had one too many people tell me that they failed EMT school, that they failed paramedic school. And specifically, a subscriber asked me about it today. So stay tuned to this video. I'm going to break down to you what's really going on. I got you. So if you're a person who's scared of failing EMT school, scared of failing paramedic school, or you already did, you got to understand this. Most likely, it's your fault. And why do I say that? Because a person's interpretation of a task is directly proportional to their level of self-development. You got people who can't even tie their fucking shoes wanting to be EMTs and paramedics. And why is that? Because they prioritize professional development over personal development. If you're good at being you, being a good EMT student, being a good paramedic student becomes a lot easier. And what does it take for you to be good at being you? First and foremost, the foundation of you being a good person or a person that's good at being them, you have to be healthy. You have to be physically and mentally healthy. A lot of times, EMT students, paramedic students, they work night shifts. They're eating fucking Doritos and drinking Red Bulls. They're eating sluggy food that tastes like cardboard and is made in a laboratory. How do you expect to get good grades if you're not taking care of yourself? How do you expect to take care of somebody else at a high level if you're not even able to take care of yourself? How do you expect to carry somebody if you don't even have the strength to carry yourself or do a pull-up or do a dip? It becomes a lot harder. Not impossible, but that makes you more prone to injuries. And I'm talking about the physical, but guess what? There's a mind-body connection. Usually, the people that I've met that fail EMT school, that fail paramedic school, is because they're failing at being themselves. Just look in the mirror. If you failed, take extreme accountability for your mistakes. And remember, a real friend is going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So here's some tough love for you. EMT school, literally, a fucking monkey could do it. It's not that hard. I'm sure you've met EMTs. I'm sure you've met paramedics that you're like, what the fuck, bro? This guy's dumb as rocks. So you could do it as well. It's a commendable job. You're doing God's work. It's an awesome job. So I'm not taking away from paramedics. Think about it. I'm on the ambulance right now. But the reality is the barrier to entry is not that hard. It's super fucking easy. So if you're having a hard time with something that's easy, it's because you're not prepared for it. Think about it. Any exam you ever took in your life, in school or out of school, was difficult when you didn't study for it. But the same exam is easy because you were prepared for it. So the only time things become difficult, whether it's on the ambulance or off the ambulance, is when you are not prepared for it. So if you go into a karate tournament and the training involved boxing, then the karate tournament is going to be difficult. Same thing with paramedic school. Same thing with EMT school. If you're not prepared for it, it's going to be difficult. So how do you prepare for it? You got to be healthy. That's first and foremost. Then by the time you're healthier and you're firing on all cylinders, remembering the material for the exam becomes a lot easier. So I say that to say this, my people. Don't ever prioritize professional development over personal development. Like, what good is it becoming a paramedic if when you do CPR, you're breaking the fucking person's ribs because you're obese? What good is it not being able to carry somebody down some stairs because your fucking stomach is getting in the way? What good is it stepping off the ambulance not feeling confident? So, if you failed EMT school, if you failed paramedic school, lastly, understand this. It's not really a failure. What it really is now you know how not to proceed the second time around. Because in reality, you don't really fail at nothing. Failure is only a failure if you stay down. But if you use it as an emotional motivation, if you use it as a rough draft to your final draft, if you use it as a way to know how not to proceed the second time around, then it wasn't really a failure. It kind of made you stronger. Remember, what doesn't kill you usually makes you stronger. And remember, comfort and growth don't coexist. You have to make yourself uncomfortable so you can grow. And another word about growing: everything in nature is moving. Think about the rivers. Think about the trees. Think about a human. You have to move to be considered alive. You have to be growing to be considered a human or a living being. So if you're not growing as a human, whether you're male or female, then you in essence are stagnant. And things that are stagnant are pretty much dead, as per the universal law. So you failing EMT school, you failing paramedic school is way deeper than what it seems. Work on yourself so that everything else will be easy. I hope this helps. Peace.